try not to say all right. I've decided I am going to try and pull out this whole steering rack. I know I've been talking about it all day. Talking about it. Seems like it don't end. Here it is down here. I'm just following the shop manual that I downloaded a PDF for. Don't tell Ford. I'm gonna try and remove these two. I don't know why these castle nuts are so far out and don't have cotter pins in them. But I'm just gonna try and pop those off first. See where we go from there. Alright. Power steering pump's out of the way. Oh, that's over here. AC compressor's out of the way. Now I got a nice clear view of my power steering rack. So, man, it's greasy. Man, it's dirty. That side, hard to tell if anything's leaking. If anything's leaking, I'm guessing it's gonna be up in here. Oh, that's that cooling loop. Alright, let me see what I can see here. Alright, so I got my power steering rack pretty well exposed here. Just trying to identify any leaks that may be present. I mean, what wouldn't be leaking on this? Well, it looks rusty, but it looks dry. Probably a good sign. So this power steering rack, come underneath. It's got this cooling loop that runs clear up here. Yeah. Power steering fluid runs all the way out there into the outer bumper. And then it runs back down into the pump. Now, typically, I think the leak happened out here, which would make perfect sense. I mean, look at it rusting away. But everything in here looks quite leaky, to be honest. So I'm just gonna go through and clean this up and see. Okay, must be tiny. Okay. Guess that's loose for a reason. Alright. Dang it, I said alright again. Well, I'm back at the steering box. As I showed you, both of the tie rod end nuts were loose already. The pinch nut for the steering shaft from the wheel to the rack was gone. I hope I have that somewhere. Now I have to remove these lines. I'm just going to take out that nut in the middle, and this whole end cap should pop right off of here. So let's have a go at that, shall we? Someone had this steering apart. Alright, I'm going through my work instructions. Hard to see here. Essentially though, the next step is to remove the pinch bolt from the flexible coupling. Here's the flexible coupling, which is exactly what you want in your steering. Is a bunch of mushy rubber. It really helps with the feel. The bolt is gone. The pinch bolt, there's not one in there. Did I take that out years ago? I don't remember doing that at all. I don't remember even messing with the steering. Oh well, makes my job now easier. See what's next. Got my new tripod. Ow. Ow. I need something. I don't like my tripod, folks. I'm gonna get a new tripod. Tripod, 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 tripod. Excuse me, Mr. Wood. Need room for my tripod. You know how many times I walked down this lift today? Feels like 400 or 500. There she went. I saw it pop. All right. I spent all that time getting this off. I didn't need to take that off. I was following the shop manual, but I just looked at the photo of the rack the guy sent me. And this go to here and here. Or, I'm sorry, one of them goes to this hose, which I already have disconnected. The other one goes right here, which goes out to a cooling loop. But this hose on his rack is just cut off, so I can just get a new piece of 3/8 or just reuse this one, and I don't have to take any of this off. Yeah. Alright, we have got the bolts holding the rack in, as you can see. It's now really moving. Gotta get this hose off. And I gotta get the tie rod ends pushed out, ball joint there. And then this rack can come out. Let me try and get that hose off. That sounded probably bad. Not too bad. Oh, you know it's bad. You know it's bad. I'm laying down. Makes your back feel better. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Back feels good. Lay it down here. Oh, flathead. Oh, man. Freaking flathead. Oh, dang, that was scary. Y'all see that? I just almost ate this power steering pump. I mean, I haven't had breakfast yet. I don't want to eat this thing. Woo! Hello. Hello. Quite roomy in here. No engine. That's going to be bad. Alright. It's off. Unfortunately. Yeah, this is supposed to be mounted up in here. Which it no longer is. I'll have to put a new clamp for that, seemingly. Okay. Pulled the whole power steering pump off. I pulled off the cooling loop for the power steering fluid as well. Just the tube that the fluid goes out, clear out here into the bumper, then back to the power steering pump, which is now unbolted. Only 2 bolts all in. Found out one here, one here. So this shaft is unbolted. It's gonna come out. So I gotta get a tie rod ends. They have a special tool used to press them out. Obviously I don't have that tool, so see what we can work together. I got one tiny C-clamp. That's it. Alright. Dang it, I said alright again. Well, I just consulted YouTube and took a little bit of advice. Got a little bit of advice, which I'm gonna take. It's gonna be, just gonna thread this castle nut on here. Oh boy, threads is nasty. We'll try and clean that up in a second. I'm gonna thread this on here upside down. I'm gonna pry down on this while I hit this, and hopefully it should pop right out of the bottom here. Now I don't have a pry bar. I do have some large metal stakes, so I'm just gonna try one of those. as you can see, busted loose now. So as I take this nut off, it'll just fall out of here. There you have it. That's how you remove outer tie rod. Obviously my prying and beating trick didn't work. Although, according to the guy, because of this taper, you see it's smaller towards the top. This hole is also tapered. When you hit this, theoretically, it opens this hole up and it just pops that taper right out of there. So, there you go. Now to do the other side. Alright, that one is out. Booyah! Sorry for the booyah. My back. Feeling it. Feeling it today. Got no help, my dad's on vacation. I ought to be able to pull the steering rack out of here though. And that'll be it for me today. Let me sit down just to describe what I've done. Hey? So far today, I bought a welder. It's exciting. I bought a welder, brought it home with me, set it up, spooled it up. I gotta get a, whatever the tip is called, contact tip, because it came with two 030 30 thousandths, and I got 35 thousandths wire, welding wire. I got the flange nuts, and I got the two bolts that are going to replace that drive shaft bearing that holds it up. Two-piece drive shaft held up in the middle. Drilled a couple holes in that bracket. I dropped the nut down from the top. I have it clamped on with some locking pliers in place. So when I get the contact tip for my welder, and I got to do some research on how to use it, I'll come back, I'll be able to tack that into place, hopefully successfully, and the drive shaft will be ready to go back in. My dad is on his way back with a transmission and a power steering rack. I got this motor all buttoned up, ready for the transmission. All I got to do is sand the flywheel, get a nice clean surface. Then I'll be ready to mount the transmission and motor together, and they'll be ready to go back in the car. I got the power steering rack coming from my dad as well. I just got finished getting that old one ready to take out of the car. I got everything unhooked, so I just got to go in there and pull it out, figure out what way it comes out. And I'm just going to throw the used one in there, hope it works good. It looks a lot better than mine, so should be fine. Won't be any worse than mine, at the very least. Well, I got the coolant return line, coolant feed line for the turbo, water-cooled turbo. Really, I guess that's it. I'm going to try and get this power steering rack up. So let's go! Alright, it's all unbolted. These wires out of the way. That hose is coming with me. It's coming with me. It's a coil wire, don't need that. I got the tie rod ends, the outers out. It looks like it'll just pop out right. Oh, the steering shaft. Steering shaft's still hooked up. Let me get my tripod. Just lost the roof of my tripod. Alright, how's this steering? I figure out how the shaft comes out of here. Oh man, I gotta consult my book. Hey, I had to swap batteries. Haven't gotten anywhere. So this shaft is really stuck in there, and I don't know how to get it out. So, join me, why don't you? While we play around and see if we can figure it out. Yeah, finally got one. Finally got one right. Yes. That'll work. So what I decided to do was unhook the steering shaft instead of down here, up here at the top. Simple little 10mm bolt. Now, gotta work this whole rack out. Got the bumper camera. Okay. Yeah. She's out. Let me teach you something about grease. sucks. Yeah. Woo! Oh, that's nasty. Dripping. Yeah, dripping. Oh. Now I went in there to do that. I went in there to do that about 10 times with gloves on. And then the one time I finally do it, look at me. I can't even touch my camera, so filthy. Alright.